Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today, I want to add support for Zig's incremental builds, and like add support into like my editor for automatically working with those things. So, the idea here is, you know, Zig build. We run this. Maybe I make a modification so that something actually happens. I type Zig build in here. That takes a significant amount of time, right? But we can speed this up by kind of asking Zig to not emit an actual binary for this thing and only do like type checking and stuff like that. So if I do like Zig build -d check, that's significantly faster, but it's still not that fast, right? So like after a change, we're looking at like maybe like 600 milliseconds, right? To get like my compiler errors, or 300 there, 400. It's not a long time, but it's also not nothing, right? So in the latest version of Zig, Zig 014, they added support for this thing where you go incremental build, please. So you go F incremental with this like watch flag, and now it's like effectively instant, if I understand correctly. Yeah, right. That's really fucking fast, right? That went down to like, what was that? Like 10 milliseconds or something, it felt like. Wait, here, let's see if we can get it. Does it say? I thought I've seen it before. Oh, maybe it only says on success. Yeah, 28 milliseconds there. So that's like maybe like a 10x speed up, which is pretty sick. And it goes from being like, pretty fucking fast to like effectively instant, right? But the problem with this is, if I now go over here and I type Zig build, oopsies, check again, this still is slow, right? So I go in here, I type ASDF, boom. And so like this, in order to get this output in Vim, my usual workflow is I type like make d check or something, right? And then I open the quick fix list here, right? And now I can like jump to this spot easily from Vim, and it's like all integrated and it'll like automatically go there, and that's great. And so it'd be nice if I get like kind of the behavior of like jumping around with the quick fix list, and the behavior of like this incremental build all at once. So my thought is we need some way to like dump the incremental build output somewhere, and we need some way for Vim to like automatically reload that stuff. And so that's fine. Let's just try to figure out how to do that. Let's see. Okay, so when I type Zig build, what happens? There is somewhere. Do we have Zig checked out at the latest version? Yeah. So somewhere there's this thing called like build runner. Here, libcompiler build runner.zig. And so this is like kind of like the entry point when you type zig build, and you can like override this file, which is kind of hype. So we know that we're typing f incremental. So let's kind of like just take a little peek and see what that does. So he says graph incremental true, and then we also do like watch, which sets watch to true. So in this build runner file, can we start like looking around to see like what happens if we're watching? Okay, so we have W if watch init, else undefined. We then, does this get used somewhere else? Watch. If we're not watching, we exit out of the build script. Otherwise, presumably all of this stuff is just like, more stuff to be done here. So I assume that like this block of code is like the watch it implementation, unless this goes like somewhere else, but kind of feels like that's the majority of it. Yeah, okay, so where are we? We are in... Is this just like main? Kind of feels like it, huh? What the fuck? Yeah, so this is just like in main. At the very bottom of main. What happens here? So if we are watching, we wait until a file system notification arrives, read all such events until the buffer is empty, then wait for a debounce interval, resetting if any more events come in. After the debounce interval is passed, trigger rebuild on all steps of the modified inputs as well as the recursive dependence. Sick. Okay, so watching blank dependent directories and these many processes. So that's this log line, like kind of like here. Okay. So let's kind of. Can now we just kind of like. Okay, so yeah, we see that like we print this log, and then it gets printed here, and then it looks like it gets like overwritten by the next build. Yeah. So this is kind of like a auto updating line of code. Okay, cool. So presumably, let's just say like smile here, right? And let's actually put this somewhere else. Maybe we take, what was it? It was in lib compiler build runner. So if we just take this thing and we slap it in where we're working. And in here we do like zig build, but we pass in a build runner. Before we do that, we edit the build runner to like, throw a little smiley face on that line. Just to make sure that we like understand what's happening, right? We put a little smiley here. We should see that like the log line there starts saying like smile, right? Okay, cool. So this is good, right? This indicates that we like have at least some understanding of what's happening. And if we go back in here and we start like changing files on it, we still see that popping up. Okay. So what does this actually do? He calls wait on some watcher, which calls OS wait on watch? Oh, is watch like a stood? What is OS here? Ah, okay. So this is a like union that like switches behavior based off different operating systems. And if we call wait on this thing, there's like multiple implementations of this thing for each operating system probably. And here they're basically doing what? They're looking at like KQ file descriptor. Yeah, okay, so this is probably like the not the Linux implementation. This is like the BSD implementation. What about on like Linux? POSIX poll on poll FDs. Sure. So there's like some file descriptors that it's watching, and it says, please, when something happens on those, let me fucking know. Sure. Sure. That's not crazy. Okay, then after that, there is the timeout, dirty, and clean state. And in the timeout state, they continue to rebuild. And this is probably where the actual work is done. Probably. Can we, like, prove that? Timeout, smile. Okay, he's mad because it didn't compile. True. True. And then in here, I just go in here and I'm like, okay, so we see timeout here, which is a good sign. We're on the right track. And I assume that going back to rebuild here will just like do the actual work again. So what's going on here? Where are like compile errors printed? That's kind of like where we should look probably. So what does it do? It like runs some build steps, then does some stuff over fuzzing, then does stuff for watching. So presumably the work is in here. So he's got like a bunch of build steps that he's running. And he's like walking over each of them, I guess. And has he run them already at this point? I guess so. So here he like spawns some stuff, and I assume that we like wait on the thread pool or something. Yeah, defer wait group wait. I see. So in this block, they spawn a bunch of threads to do the actual work. Then here they're kind of like collecting errors out of that thing. On the case where nothing happens, they don't print anything, I guess. And here they have if summary is not equal to none, they start printing some shit. Okay, does any of this kind of match? What am I looking for? I'm looking for something that's like one errors, right? That's kind of what we're looking for. Errors with a quote, maybe? No? This could come from like the child process, I guess. It does say. Not sure. Maybe we'll just keep kind of skipping. So we don't see. Do we see the word build summary anywhere? Yes, we see this. And this is printed after the actual interesting part, I think. So if we do like if false here, I think we should still see, you know, some our compile errors, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so we do still see the errors, but we don't see like that build summary section. So I think that means that we have to go before that somewhere. Hand wavy. Yeah, so here's the build summary. Nice. Okay. So my guess would be maybe in the actual running of the build steps. So this is like worker make one step, okay? And no matter the result, we want to display error warning messages, hype. Print error messages, hype. So we can maybe make an assumption here that if we comment this out, we should stop seeing the errors being printed here if this is the right spot. Nice. Hype, 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 hype. Okay, so we've kind of found where the work is happening here. And I guess we can just write to another file on failure. Maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. So then that we should be able to like dump like only the parts that are interesting out, I think. Maybe. I guess we just run this now and see where he gets angry. That's not helpful. Build runner. Worker make one step. Okay, so here, I guess we'll just worker make one step. Okay, so in some cases this is like recursively calling, it looks like. So we kind of pass this thing along. And maybe another one here. And then here on run step names, this is our entry point. Okay. So here, let's kind of say that we have like error output file. Let's do something that's like last compile errors text or something. And maybe we want to truncate this shit. I guess. Truncate. Len set end position. F truncate. Yeah. So it's probably like something like this. So we truncate this file. I guess we could just put truncate in here. I think that's one of the create file options. Yeah, no, it is. Okay. And then we pass this thing in here. Okay. Does that compile? Yes. Okay. And then last compile errors. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. And then if we then like run this in watch mode and then go to main here and we delete the compile error and then we like edit last compilers, that's pretty fucking sick, dude. And then we go back and we write like SDF and we edit last compile errors. That's annoying. That's annoying. So why, when I run this normally, does this not happen? Maybe Vim is like parsing it out, or maybe there's like some config to turn that shit off. Like I know that like some apps detect if your standard error is like a file or yeah, or a file or like something interactive, and will only turn on colors if it's interactive. So we could look for something like that. Where is our like? Where did we make our changes? It was like render something, render to standard error, but not this one. We were in main. Okay. Let's look for what was our file called, or we called it like last compile errors. Here we go. So it was in worker make one step down here somewhere. We edited this guy. So render options seems promising. TTY config also sounds promising. No color or escape codes or Windows API. I guess we just kind of hard code this to no color. Okay. Sure. Or I guess even we could even just do this. Okay. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, last compile errors. Much better. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Okay, so right last build error to file. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Auto reload file on the quick list. Okay, so I was like Googling this a little bit before the stream, and it didn't look super trivial to have something that like monitors this thing, but there is this concept of being able to do like C file is this, and so now this is in my quick list, and so if I introduce like a couple compilers and do C file last compilers, I should be able to like jump between them easily now. Maybe it's not easy to get it to show more than one here. Hold on. Can we get it to like? So that's one compiler. If I do one in each function, that's 124 and 119. Nice. So if I do like C file last compile errors and C open, I should see this one at 119 and 124. Yeah, so I should be able to jump to both. If I just do like CP, CN, yeah, there we go. I'm jumping between them. Hype. So what we really want to do is we want to update this C file every time the file, like the last compile errors text changes, which Googling around, I did not see an obvious answer on how to do that with like built-in Vim commands. There were some that were like, you can monitor a buffer. There's like set auto read or something. But this doesn't, I don't think this does what I want. Because I was playing with this a little bit and I couldn't get it to do what I wanted here. But like when a file has been detected to have been changed outside of Vim and has not been changed inside of Vim, automatically read it again. When the file has been deleted, this is not done, so you have to read the text from it before it's deleted, right? But like if I go into like, okay, let's just like try it, right? So if I go into here and I say set auto read on the quick fix list, and then I delete these errors, this isn't updated, right? So we have to do something a little bit more clever, right? I just don't know what that is. I think, if we were to write like a little Vim or neovim plugin to do this, I would probably look at like using libuv. I think libuv has like a file monitor watching command. Watch file. File change events. Yeah, so they call fs event init. fs event init, or maybe like fs event t. Here we go. So in Vim, we can create a file system event and start it looking at some location. So can we just start by trying like to monitor that last compile errors file and see what happens? So it's like local like uv equals vim uv or something. Okay, and then we do like uv new fs event, and we do like fs event start with, is there like a, am I supposed to do like fs, I guess we just do this. fs event start with the event. Path was last compile errors.txt. Flags looks like a table which says like watch entry boolean or nil, stat blah blah blah, recursive false. So what the fuck are these options? um so these don't do anything. We'll start watching subdirectories. Cool. So I guess we just do nothing. And then the callback is like a function that takes in file and events. But in reality, we probably don't care about these things. I think we can probably just do like, is it vim print hi mom? I think it's something like this. Fs event start. He doesn't like that. Whoa. Oh, UV here. Start. Oh, so this is not how we do this. How do we run like the fucking event loop? uv.run. Okay. Can we do like, so I don't see anything happening here, but also we didn't try to make anything. Oh, we did. We did vim.print. Okay, vim print starting loop. Okay. So we don't see anything happening here, which does not seem good. But also, I think that if I remember correctly, I don't know if we're supposed to run the event loop ourselves. I think that like Vim might run it for us. Can we kind of do this in our instance now? So if we just do like Lua this or source this, we see starting loop and we see hi mom on change now. That's good. That's really good. Okay. So it looks like we can do this. And then can we like run like nvim, it's gonna be like nvim neovim, like run vim command from Lua. Like there's probably, they usually have some sort of like binding for the like the vim command we want. Vim.command, but I've also seen a lot of like stuff like vim.opt, right? Where you can set options that way. Can we like get keymap, auto command? Like maybe there's like Vim, like Lua bindings to the C file stuff. Help Lua. Anything in here looking like vim uv, vim diff, vim mpack, vim json, vim spell, vim types. Okay. Quick fix, C file. Eh. Okay. So then there's like vim functions. Okay. So vim dot function, maybe. Vim function C file last compile error text or something. Unknown function C file. No, so not so lucky. But we could do like a vim command C file last compile errors text or something. Does that work? Yeah, okay, so that works. That works. Okay, so let's do that. So in here, we should be able to be like vim command C file last compile errors text. And I think C file and C get file, one of them doesn't like automatically jump to the first error, so we want to use C get file here probably. Okay. Okay, so C open, and then must not be called from a Lua loop callback. So there's some way to like get it to dispatch this shit. I can't remember what it is though. But, you know, somebody will tell us the answer here. Vim schedule, that sounds familiar. Schedules function to be invoked soon by the main event loop. What's like schedule wrap? Returns a function which calls function via vim schedule. Yep. And defer function until time. Okay, so let's just do schedule. Right? That seems kind of fine. Seems kind of fine. So we should be able to like vim schedule like this. Sure. Okay. Nice, dude. But oh, weird. It's hard to like jump to that thing on first failure. Oh, but that's fucking slick, man. Look at that. That's kind of hype. That's kind of hype. Yeah, I'll take that. That's a fucking win. Cool. Okay, so now we just probably want to make sure, like, we probably want to. Do we need to get crazier than this? This feels like kind of fine, right? We probably want to prevent this thing from happening like multiple times at once, right? So maybe, and probably want to make this some sort of like importable Vim module. So just like clean up, I guess we'll call it. So how the fuck do you make like Vim modules? You do like, or Lua modules, I mean. I remember you see like a bit, you have like a thing that you like return or something. Uh, let's see if we can find an example. Site, pack, plugin, start, Lua, init. So they do local module. And then how do I get, like, they return it. they return it. And then someone like someone must like import this thing. So like when we like initialize a neovim plugin, what the fuck are we doing? Config nvim init lua. So we call require on this. So how does this get set up? Maybe it's like automatically goes to init.lua in that folder. How the fuck does require work? How does this resolve? Local share nvim. So I assume that like the Lua folder in each of these guys gets added to the search path. And then here, this guy was a folder. So I presume if you have folder.init, it's the same as having this file directly. That would be my guess. But it's kind of hard to tell. We can probably get away with just doing something like this. Okay, maybe like on auto load, they like set up functions. I think this stuff doesn't matter. Yeah, we can probably get away with just like, what's in here? I guess we should like look this up. Neovim make plugin. Like what are like, we can just kind of fucking run it, I guess. If we just do like, you know, zig incremental build or something. And in here we just like make dir lua. And in here, can we kind of just copy that thing in here? Test.lua. We're gonna call this like zinc build lua or something. Okay, and then can we see if we do like in our init lua, can we like require zinc build? Okay, so we see starting loop at the bottom, which sounds like it's calling our code, which is kind of hype. Now, we probably want to do like init or something here, which now probably won't work, right? Which he's mad at. But if we now go into our little test file and we do like local m is equal to table, then we have like a function that's like init. And then we return m here. Now he's happy and he runs that shit. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, can we like not do this? And honestly, that's probably good enough, right? So we could have this thing like start, maybe it's not. Maybe we want to make some Vim functions to like, to actually like start and stop this thing. Maybe we don't want to be doing this all the fucking time, right? So maybe we want to do something like, we have a start function and an end function. And can we turn this thing off? Yeah. Start, stop. Sure. UV fs event stop. Event? Sure. Maybe. So can we then do in like so this guy we probably want to do like we want to like assign this to something. We want like some sort of like global function that we can call, right? So does that mean that we how do we like how do we like export functions from this thing? What do they do in like I don't know, tree sitter? So he has like functions that he puts on the guy he returns, I guess. How does like their like they had like functions here that call yeah. Interesting. So they call require thing and then like a sub thing on here. So we should be able to like maybe do like maybe like on uh maybe we just like assign this to a global. Then like oh he doesn't like that. Why? Yeah. Because we don't have this init function anymore. Okay. So do I have access to like zinc build now as a global? That's like a maybe. Ship blob RTS. Okay. So Lua zinc build start. And let's look at the quick fix list. And then we say stop. And now when I change this, it doesn't change. Unless I explicitly asked it to. I'll take it. I think that's probably good enough. We could even have like the path be passed in here, but I think it's fine. Yeah, that's pretty hype. That's pretty hype. That's pretty sick. All right. Cool. That's a win. Quick little stream, but you know, I just wanted to get that done. I didn't really have much else I wanted to get done today. Well, things that I do have other things I want to get done today, but I slept pretty shittily, so I don't think I really have like the energy to do so. But that's pretty sick. I'll take it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, we stream most days at around 12:50 Pacific time to 4 o'clock Pacific time. This is, you know, a unique situation where I'm only making a YouTube video because I didn't want to stream for like 30 minutes. But swing back by later if you want to see more. If you, yeah, I think that's all we're gonna say for today. So, peace out. Later.